able to move in any of the 8 adjacent directions, so including diagonals. And to compensate for that, though, you know, since that means a lot of his key combinations are occupied with you know, the movement, the diagonal movement. That does mean that he is very limited in what he can get as far as additional equipment is concerned. He can only get forward-reaching weapons. He also can't get spells. Can't get any like toggleable or weapons or boots. So like no crossbows, no boots of leaping. All that you can use as alternative actions are bombs and one usable item. No backpack or holster either. So Echaen with a little bit of a trip up at the very beginning, getting grabbed by a monkey. You're gonna have to reset, giving Nomkey an early lead here. Oh, but Nomkey taking a hit to death metal and is gonna reset. Doesn't want to miss out on the flawless, so swings right back around, and now Echaen is going to be in the lead here. Echaen just kind of taking it slow here, clearing up the ghosts. The diagonal movement does make it extremely easy to catch death metal here without any chance of him getting a summon off, but Echaen just dropped his beat, so no flawless here, and he's just going to push. Hopefully didn't miss anything too great from that boss chest, but with Diamond's limited item selection, a lot of the weapons you can find in the chest are pretty good. And a lot of the garbage is just flat out gone. There's no whips. There are no broadswords or flails, which, you know, broadswords are okay, but and flails are alright in the early game, but still generally not what you want in the long run. And yeah, Nomkey gonna get the flawless, not too far behind Echaen here, and it is a glass longsword, so a pretty strong weapon here. Looks like Echaen wants his lucky charm here. Gonna pin it up against that mushroom. Nomkey picking it up as well. So that's going to give them slightly better food as well as protection against bats. Pretty recent change to Lucky Charm. It's not as good as it used to be. They did nerf the food boosting abilities of the Lucky Charm. It now only boosts, I believe, apples up to cheese, as far as crate contents are concerned. Looks like Echaen gonna go for this heavy plate and possibly regen here. Taking the rat as well. Putting the rat down. Not sure if I agree with regen over war here. +1 damage is really nice with the glass equipment in case you break it. Nomkey leading the charge here, finishing off for his Small 2 and gonna get that titanium harp, so you can get off that fragile equipment. See if Echaen goes for the same here. Yeah, looks like he's going to do the same. Glass weapon not really complementing the heavy plate very well. Breaking his glass there, though. And see, this is where that Ring of War might have come in handy. Would have been able to break that barrel and get a get that extra heart container, but without that +1 damage, he's not going to be able to get in there. Seen a little bit of seed variance because of Echaen's shopkeeper kill. Didn't look like Nomkey's map had that potion room. So Echaen with a ton of safety right now that Nomkey doesn't really have, because yeah, Nomkey's actually made the swap to the jewel dagger, so higher damage, but you know, gonna have a little bit less range of coverage. Ooh, but checking a shop, and what a shop to check! Could use that Earth Tome, or the Fear, use the Fear Scroll to try and chase the shopkeeper out, but may have, yeah, did not do that correctly, so didn't get the shopkeeper out, and is not going to get that Ring of Courage. Echaen's going to make the swap to Dagger of Frost here. Dagger of Frost is pretty useful. It does have that piercing trait that's going to let him just hit through Blade Masters and such. Blast Helm down there, but it's in a crate, and he does not have the means to break that open. So, gonna have to skip on that, unfortunately. And oh man, Nomkey with a very fast 4-1, I think from Nomkey, and is gonna pick up a potion of his own on 4-2 there. Again, shopkeeper kills really cause a lot of variance within seeds. You know, that potion was all the way back in 3-1 for Echaen here, but Nomkey kind of scooting away from Echaen a little bit here, finding a food shop for a little bit of extra health, a little bit of extra safety. It is a duel of daggers here. Oh, bad teleport for Nomkey though. Gonna send him back to the start. And Echaen's gonna pull ahead here. Oh man, Nomkey having a really tough situation. Lots of ooze and that Dynamo bounce trap. Echaen missing his flaws, taking a few hits. Regen gonna patch him right up, but yeah, taking some time that he probably doesn't want to be spending. Boots of Strength in that chest to the side. I think it might be worth grabbing that. Boosting that Dagger of Frost up to a 2 damage dagger. Really help him out a bit, but gonna just keep pushing here. Nomkey right on his tail. Nomkey losing his potion, but has the 5 hearts and that obsidian armor, so probably gonna be just fine. And it came down to 5-3, getting petrified as he leaves 5-2. Gonna lose a couple beats there at the start. Downrat kind of putting in some work. But oh man, it's really close here. Kane starting Conga. Nomkey getting into Conga just about like 5 seconds behind him. Oh, and I think the bomb is going to make the difference. Echaen does not have a bomb for the throne, and Nomkey does, and that Jewel Dagger combined with Ozma is going to let him get the kill immediately. And just like that, Nomkey sneaks away with this one right under Echaen's nose. And here everyone was all excited about how, you know, hey, no Necrodancer means no bomb. You know, you don't need to worry about bombs deciding a race. Well, this race begs to differ. Because that bomb for Nomkey that Echaen lacked 100% made the difference there. We are definitely seeing, though, how much faster Diamond can potentially be than Cadence. Both racers resetting that run, and yet 7:14 real time, which would be a pretty fast Cadence race. Probably something you tend to only see among the top level racers, and that's assuming no resets. So definitely pretty speedy. Alright, here we go. Race number 2, immediate Torch of Walls. Okay, so we might have another really fast one here, because Torch of Walls, very strong in the mapping department. Just going to let them kind of head straight for the exit on most floors. So Kane with a slight lead here. Going to spend his bomb and get into this glass shop. That is a lock shop, so there's a guaranteed additional bomb on this floor, and could go back and fight this this glass shopkeeper. I think both the races are going to do that. Actually, no. Nomkey looking like he is going to skip on that. Just going to push forward, get a little bit of lead on Echaen for now, but the difference in build here is very high. And yeah, Echaen already closing most of the distance, most of the lead that Nomkey earned there. Although I think Echaen trying to like maybe get this Red Dragon or something, kind of wasting some time there. The Glass Rapier, though, just gonna let him lunge the Red Dragon immediately at the start of the Trapdoor Arena. Very quick kill for Echaen. Probably gonna be checking purple, getting a Transmute Tome. That said, Nomkey did pick up a Glass Staff, which is very strong as well. Could allow him to keep pace. Gonna bomb this Shrine of Space for a map. Not sure I agree with spending the time for that. Torch of Walls pretty much already accomplishing everything you need from that map. So Echaen kind of pushing ahead a little bit here, you know, with that glass armor on top of the that Glass Rapier, he can push pretty confidently, knowing that even if he does make a mistake and eat a hit, he is still going to hold on to that Glass Rapier. Gonna go for the quick kill here. It is a good setup for that, so probably gonna look for another ring here. Gonna just transmute. Could transmute again, but just gonna leave the Blood Rapier behind. See what he's going for. Probably a ring again. Gonna pick up the Ring of Pain. Ring of Pain is one that's pretty tricky. Can lead to some really nasty setups in Zone 4, excuse me, with Warlocks and Ooze Golems, so does have to be really careful about that. Okay, so Nomkey picking up a Squaga suit, so gonna have some pretty good protection, but he is a little bit low on health, so only gonna take him so far. And it's about one floor difference here. Echaen gonna do a little shopping here. Finds a heavy plate. It's gonna kill the shopkeeper for all these. Oh, but immediately breaks his glass. Takes a few hits there. I think should maybe consider killing that chest mimic to see if he can get a new weapon. Because this is gonna be a little slow and a little dangerous on just a glass shard, even with that Ring of Pain and the +1 damage from the Boots of Strength, but gotta push through and get onto Conga. Once again, no bomb for Conga on Echaen's side, but Nomkey does have one. So this fight's probably gonna be a little messy for Echaen here. Just clean it up, but the difference in build here does allow Nomkey some time to catch up, even get ahead a little bit. Probably going to see Echaen go for this black. We might see a different item. No, it's going to be the same item. Shopkeep kill, again, can cause variance on that front, so was a chance the item would have been different, but we are going to see that same Obsidian Longsword. Whoa! Okay, and see, here's what I'm talking about with Ring of Pain and Ooze Golems. Getting lots of ooze puddles laying around there that maybe wouldn't have happened otherwise. And yeah, Echaen really getting tripped up by the Ring of Pain, triggering ooze hits, and oh, he is down to half a heart and is kind of stuck in the shop. Gonna have to be really careful. Oh! Echaen getting too focused on that Blade Master. Gonna go down to the Shopkeeper Ghost. Freddy getting his revenge from beyond the grave. As Nomkey pushes on into Zone 5. Very quick death metal kill. Gonna swap to this Torch of Strength. Get that Dagger of Frost up to 2 damage. 2 damage piercing dagger is pretty darn strong. Finding a transmog, probably nothing he wants in there. Yeah, just gonna move on. Okay, gonna get a new ring. Oh, well, there's a Ring of Shadows. Could okay. Suddenly on Ring of Peace. Gonna get himself to 2 damage. We're gonna see some slow play here. Okay, just doing a little shopping here. Gonna grab that compass, pretty unnecessary compass, and the fireball scroll. Can't recall which boss they haven't seen yet. I think maybe Coral Rift. And if it is Coral Rift, that fireball scroll is potentially a pretty fast kill, although the Dagger of Frost already was a pretty fast kill on that. Some extra health there, Crown of Thorns for some health regen. Yeah, Nomkey is looking pretty good here. Dagger of Frost just being so strong right here. Echaen looking like he's maybe gotta shake off a bit of nerves here. Nomkey getting some damage from Minotaur Charge, no big deal though, and yes, it is Coral Rift. So plenty of ways you could end this fight very quickly. Probably start with just walking up and poking the head. Afterwards, he's got the Fireball Scroll, which is a one-hit kill. He's got the Dagger of Frost, which is a two-hit kill. He's gonna do that, just poke the head twice, and that's GG. Game 2 also goes to Nomkey. A very decisive win that time around. Keeping the lead on Echaen most of the time, and Echaen just not being able to handle the pressure to try and keep up. Getting Shopkeeper spooked. So, unlike Season 5, this is a pretty short event. This is just a single-week event. But unlike most single-week events, where they where it's just like a one-day thing, it is a it's a 1 week long event with matchups as usual. I believe the top few players will go on into a final tournament on Saturday. Just like Season 5, though, every point counts. So despite Nomkey already going up 2-0 here in this set of 3, Echaen will be looking to sneak away with a point here and maybe improve his chances of getting a spot for those finals. Alright, and race number 3, here we go. Could be something in that red bat cave. Looks like Echaen is going to check. If there's something in there, it's in the top middle. I think there is something in there in the top middle tile, but neither race are going to go in there. Just going to push forward here. Getting some extra bombs. Always useful. He's just starting off pretty close. A quick Dagger of Phasing, pretty strong weapon there. A little less strong on Diamond because, again, Diamond's limited control options means that you cannot throw that Dagger of Phasing, which makes it makes there be a little bit less, available boss strats for using Dagger of Phasing. Nomkey getting maybe caught by a monkey or something. We've seeing a quick reset there. So Echaen gonna lead the charge here for now. Checking that purple chest though, and only finding a ring of protection. Pretty weak find, unfortunately. Making the swap here to the electric dagger though, which I definitely approve of. Electric dagger I think is arguably the best weapon for Diamond. I really enjoy it. Keep cleaning up death metal here. Gonna check red here instead. Ooh, and gets really paid off for that. Torch of Walls, a very useful mapping tool. Could give him the edge he needs to catch up to Echaen, who just took a pretty nasty hit to a clone, so gonna have to be a little careful here. Echaen on to his second boss, which is Coral Rift. Plenty of bombs available, so this should be a pretty quick fight. Nomkey finding that same electric dagger and gonna be making the swap as well. And Echaen getting the flawless here, gonna be looking for a better ring and gets a Ring of Courage, but elects to skip out on it. Not sure I agree with that. Maybe a little spooked about the idea of Courage Electric Dagger, but I mean, Nomkey with the very strong item there, the Torch Walls. Although Echaen now does have a map of his own, so pretty much evens out that advantage from the Torch Walls there. Finds a food shop. Not a great piece of food, but the double full heart container is really nice. So both racers on the same floor now, and Nomkey did take the Ring of Courage. Especially with those lead boots, though, yeah, I think taking the Ring of Courage is definitely the correct call. Lead boots gonna protect you from probably definitely the scariest part of Courage and a short-range weapon of just couraging onto ice and going into an immediate slide. King Konga here going to be pretty fast fight with this electric dagger. Just makes very short work of those Konga lines. After that, just 2 pokes and down goes Konga. So Echaen probably going to be looking for a new ring here. Ring of Courage, I think, is the only good ring you're going to see this run. Remains to be seen. Looking for armor there and finds the quartz armor. Oh, and Nomkey going down to I think a blue dragon. Well, despite all that extra health he had, blue dragon gonna melt that away pretty quickly. Echaen taking a pretty bad teleport. Not that it really matters at this point, since Nomkey just went down. Going back to the start of floor 1 is not that big of a deal. And yeah, gonna do some slow play here. Gonna swap to the Explorer's Boots. Explorer's Boots, yeah, I think that's the right call. Explorer's Boots much more valuable in Zone 5 than in Zone 3, than the Lead Boots, rather. Because, while Lead Boots are arguably better in Zone 4, especially in Zone 3 as well, ice being a much more threatening terrain than Hot Coals. And Zone 4, Lead Boots will let you walk across trap rooms, let you walk across the spike traps. But in Zone 5, pretty much the only thing you want boots to protect you against is water from the water balls. So Explorer Boots going to be better for that end game. Finding a ham there, so I'm just going to eat it up immediately. I think maybe had the... Yeah, I think he still had the Gluttony Charm from his food shop, so yeah, definitely a good move there. Gonna boost himself up to a nice 8 heart containers with this quartz armor. Very, very healthy. And onto Deep Blues. Nomkey desperately trying to get back into the game, but at this point is pretty dependent on Echaen taking a spill. Electric Dagger cleaning up Deep Blues so quickly. Electric Dagger just cleans up a lot of bosses super quickly. And gonna check black here and make the swap off to plate armor. Yeah, definitely better than that quartz armor. Quartz armor is really good against those big boss hits, but as far as just general survival, something like plate armor is gonna keep your overall damage intake from assorted random mobs much lower. Gonna find the Shovel of Courage. Shovel of Courage, pretty good in Zone 5, very frequently just kind of lets you scoot past everything. Just go straight to the exit by scooting along the level boundaries. Finding a Blast Helm there. Has 10 bombs on deck as well, so it doesn't really have too much to worry about. Take Ring of Might. There's a Magic Cheese. Up to maximum health. I'm not even going to take the Ring of Might, which is fair, I suppose. Electric Dagger does get infinite damage when you're on the power line, and generally in Zone 5 you're just going to want to stay on that line anyway, so not really valuing that high that damage boost too much, which is, perfectly fair. And on to his last boss, Vertissimal. Pretty quick fight here. Electric Dagger clearing the crowd really quickly. Just gonna spam bombs through it, and there we go. Echaen takes game 3, so it's gonna take 1 point out of this set. But Nomkey definitely looking better off here. With those 2 points, very valuable in terms of securing a good spot for the finals. So But pretty solid play from both runners. First race especially extremely close. And the other two kind of coming down to some nasty deaths. But Diamond is just such a fast character, and you can push him super, super hard. And pushing optimally in a way that's both efficient and safe is pretty difficult, and something that a lot of racers are still working on, and myself included.